Our other top story, people lined up early this morning to get their money out of the now defunct Silicon Valley Bank. This was the scene outside the main branch in Santa Clara. SVB is one of two banks to fail within days of each other. Now comes the finger pointing and the lawsuits.
You know, they were entrusted with watching our money, and they didn't do a very good job of it, and that could cause people a lot of problems.
And our team coverage begins outside the White House with CBS News correspondent Nicole D'Antonio. Nicole, President Biden trying to tamp down concerns about a wider banking collapse today.
Yes, that was his main goal. He wanted to get this bottom line across that he wanted to reassure Americans that their money is safe, that the U.S. banking system is safe. But tonight, there are still many big questions, including who's responsible for this and what's being done now to make sure this doesn't happen again.
Leave for California.
President Biden looked to reassure Americans Monday following the failure of two banks.
Americans can have confidence that the banking system is safe. Your deposits will be there when you need them.
The federal government announced emergency actions after the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank Friday and closure of Signature Bank in New York over the weekend.
When we learned of the problems of the banks and the impact they could have on jobs of small businesses and banking system overall, I instructed my team to act quickly to protect these interests.
Sunday night, the Treasury Department, Federal Reserve, and Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation announced they will ensure depositors have full access to their money today. That's a lifeline for customers, including Melanie Travis, founder and CEO of a swimwear company that banked exclusively with SVB.
It's payroll, it's all of our bills, it's how we pay our suppliers, it is everything that the company has, and it was gone in an instant.
Rescuing the depositors is not a bailout for the banks. The president said taxpayers won't foot the bill for these losses.
The management of these banks will be fired. If the bank is taken over by FDIC, the people running the bank should not work there anymore. Third, investors in the banks will not be protected.
Traders began dumping shares of bank stocks when the markets opened, with trading for some regional banks temporarily halted.
And the president also says they will continue to strengthen the regulations of larger banks to make sure that they are not put in this position again. At the White House, Nicole D'Antonio, I'll send things back to you.
All right, Nicole, thanks so much.
Well, we now go to our very own Devin Fehely, who spent the day with customers who closed their accounts at Silicon Valley Bank. Devin, I'm pretty sure this is a pretty tough 72 hours for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. On Friday, people, frankly, were in panic mode. A central pillar of the Valley's banking industry had suddenly collapsed, and they didn't know if they were going to be collateral damage. Now, thankfully, things have settled down an awful lot since then. But all day long, we saw people coming to this bank that closed about 2 hours ago to pull out their money. The line began to form outside Silicon Valley Bank around 8 a.m., an hour before the bank would officially open its doors. The owners of small mom-and-pop businesses standing shoulder to shoulder with tech CEOs.
Everything that we need to operate on, we still have access to, and never was, because it was in a different bank.
Elisa Sperlin runs a gallery and framing shop in Menlo Park. She had a rainy day bank account at SVB, and at her parents' urging came to withdraw the money.
We were fine. It was just an issue of, okay, what are we going to do? Do we leave it there? Do we take it out? And like I said, we decided to take it out. And so I was here this morning to take care of that.
The collapse of SVB sent ripples of unease and uncertainty through the Bay Area's banking and tech industry, especially among customers who had more than $250,000 with the bank, the typical amount insured by the feds.
We were pretty worried over the weekend. We're watching the news all the time. I check on Google like 20 times an hour.
Sam Ling is the CEO of Otter.ai, a software startup that had several $1 million in deposits with the bank. He praised the White House's decision to guarantee all deposits, regardless of the amount.
Definitely very assuring. I think the government this time moved really fast.
Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren says the White House's decision helped limit the financial fallout from the bank's sudden demise.
Very important that the stability has been brought not only to this bank, but to the banking system.
Elisa says she's grateful to have access to her money and to be able to move it to another bank where it's less vulnerable.
People will get through the line, they'll get what they need, and then things will settle down. And that's what I hope for, is a quick settling down of everything.
And it does seem like things are settling down. The people that we talk to in line say moving your money to another bank is certainly work, but they say it is infinitely better than the alternative, which was potentially losing that money altogether or losing access to it in the interim.
Yeah, very, very scary weekend for a lot of people, either the owners of some of these companies, but also the people on the payroll, no question. All right, Devin, thanks.
And while Silicon Valley Bank and Signature are getting help from the feds, trading had to be halted for several banks after stocks opened sharply lower. That included San Francisco's First Republic Bank. First Republic Bank shares dropped nearly 62% when the market opened this morning. The bank did get an infusion of cash from both the Federal Reserve and JP Morgan Chase. But bank stocks still took a hit on Wall Street, but it was a mixed day overall. The Dow and S&P closed lower. The Nasdaq ticked up slightly.